This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, June 11th. I'm Tori here with Jeff, and Al joins us from home. Al, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about two favorite people doing?
I'm feeling good, buddy. I love that coat. You're looking sharp, my man.
I also like that he called me one of his favorite
thank
people.
you.
One of his favorite people. I'm one of those.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. That should build your confidence before a Thursday show.
It sure does. Here we go. All right. After a week-long standoff, the police have abandoned a precinct. It's now called the Seattle People Department. It used to be Seattle Police Department in the downtown area. And now protesters have claimed it and the neighborhood around it, calling it an autonomous zone. It's part street festival, part commune with no police presence, and a concern for local leaders. Also, last night in Richmond, Virginia, a crowd of protesters brought down the statue of Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy. This follows reports of at least 3 Christopher Columbus statues being messed with, one being beheaded, another thrown in the lake, and a third was pulled to the ground. Dang. Meantime, at protests all across the nation, private citizens are showing up to demonstrations carrying firearms. They're not police or military, and they claim to be there to protect the peace. But are they? Jeffrey, your thoughts?
Well, there's a lot to unravel there, okay?
Yes.
I think I'll start with Seattle because I think it trickles down from there, right? So this is what I was worried about when people say defunding police, meaning no police. This is what they're thinking of, having no police, and this is not
anarchy almost.
And yes, because essentially Wesley Snipes and his pack of thugs from the underground take over, and you have to thaw Sylvester Stallone and come and capture the people. Demolition Man, if you've ever seen
Nice.
it. I believe that's the movie. Anyways, anarchy takes over
Right.
without police. So I'm not for this whole defunding police. I think people are getting the wrong idea of what it is. If anything, I think we need to put money back into the police department to help weed out some of the bad people and better training. So as it moves forward, we see things like that happening, and I don't want that happening all over the nation. So I'm just going to stick with that Seattle one. You guys could talk further on what you think about the statues and things.
The good thing about the Seattle one, Al, too, is that there isn't a lot of music, there's a lot of poetry, there's a lot of art, right? But that can only last so long. So at what point, Al, does this become vigilantes taking over and we have pure anarchy? Now, we do have the, the fire police saying, we got a team, we are working through this, and we want to use the trust that we're building. Do you think that's a smart move, Al?
I think we have to start to really bring it back to the mean, bring it back to the median, bring it back to the middle. Obviously, what was going on, because honestly, I believe what was going on with these police departments was anarchy. It was just controlled, and it was only focused on a certain group of people. Now, can we have people blocking our streets and have a decade-long music festival? Probably not. But the middle part, I believe there's going to be a lot of good. We need to have police departments that are willing to listen to the citizens. They are paid to, air quotes, police that are clearly not happy with the product that they're providing. And also, I would like for us to come to a way where people are comfortable seeing police again. I don't want to be scared of the police. Black folks don't want to be scared of the police. That's not the point here. The point is to make sure that we can all move on in some kind of just normalcy. That's all we want is normalcy.
You know, Trevor Noah, Al, said, look, we don't want to go against the police, but the social contract was broken. If I call you to help me out and I end up dead, there's no social contract there between us and the police. So something has to start over. So I appreciate that. Keep writing in. Someone says, I agree with Jeff. That is Tammy Gibson.
I'm still not sure about Demolition Man. It might be a different movie.
Are you worried about that?
But you know what I'm...
Of course we do.
Did you get the reference?
Can we get that checked by a producer?
Yeah, let's get it checked. Let's get it checked. Because now it's
It was Demolition Man.
Oh, thanks, Al. Thank you. All right, I felt I could move on now.
You feel good?
Yes. I was like, man, if I botched that reference.
How awfully embarrassing. We have, speaking of the other pandemic we have other than racism, we've reached another tough milestone in the pandemic. The U.S. has now more than 2 million confirmed cases of coronavirus. Experts are now predicting that we're also going to be seeing more deaths. Here is what the director of the Harvard Global Health Institute had to say about it on the Today Show.
We'll continue to have 800 to 1,000 people dying every day. That's about 25 to 30,000 a month. And over the next 3 months, we will cross the 200,000 mark. We're at about 113,000 now. So sometime in September, we're going to cross 200,000.
Dr. Anthony Fauci is now describing the coronavirus as his, quote, worst nightmare. Take a look.
Now we have something that indeed turned out to be my worst nightmare, something that's highly transmissible in a period, if you just think about it, in a period of 4 months, it has devastated the world, and it isn't over yet.
All right, so I want to ask everybody, are we failing by opening up and inviting more cases and deaths? And also, I want to take a look at Mike Pence, our vice president. This is a tweet, Al, he deleted recently. He put it up this morning, I believe, and it's all in close proximity. This is his staff, and they don't have any masks on. So does it matter that we're not even showing responsibility from the top down, Al? He then deleted that tweet.
Yeah, and that's even worse. I think, when any celebrity deletes a tweet, it's not because it was getting too many retweets. It's because there's something wrong with that tweet. And there's something wrong with that picture. And it's less about what you say and more about what you do. And from the beginning, from the top down, it's been iffy on masks. It's been iffy on if this was a hoax. It's been iffy about where this came from. And because of that, we're still kind of in this weird paradox where no one knows. Should we reopen? Should we reopen the patio? Hey, Jeff, can I come over to your house?
Right.
I feel okay. Can I hug your kid? No one knows. And everybody's just frustrated because I want to hang out with y'all.
I know.
People want to go to work. No, I don't want to make this a political thing. I want to be in studio with you guys. So we need somebody to figure this out, and yelling at scientists saying, get it together. This is a novel virus. No one has ever dealt with this before. It's like telling an oncologist to figure cancer out. It's hard.
Yeah, Jeff, do we have a plan?
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Tori. We're not going to know the numbers now because of these protests. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying we're not going to get a number because we started to reopen the economy, right?
Right.
For people going back to restaurants. At the same time, the protests started. So we're not going to get a fair number on what this actually is, right? I haven't been tested. Have you? Have you been tested?
No.
Right. So as the tests go up, the number is going to go up because, as we know, a large percentage of the population is asymptomatic. So as we continue to test people, people are going to test positive but might not show signs of it. So the numbers are going to incline anyway. So I'm not a doctor. You have to take Dr. Fauci's word for that.
About it too.
But I just can't help but think the more people get tested, the more numbers are going to go up.
But the more we open our states, the more people are going to get coronavirus.
But we're not going to know those numbers because of the protests. You see what I'm saying?
You're saying it's a scale that is a little slanted now because of the protests.
Exactly.
I agree with you, but I also think that instead of at least some of them had masks on. To see the vice president not have a mask on in front of all those people is a little crazy.
But now we don't know if that's helping or hurting or neither. We don't know.
We need a plan, is what we're saying.
And we don't have one.
We don't have one. All right, before we go to break, we do want to leave you, thank God, with a feel-good video, right? I love this. A daughter surprised her mother with her acceptance letter into law school. What? Complete with a $40,000 scholarship. Take a look.
In addition, the College of Law will award you a deep scholarship in the amount of $40,000.
Unbelievable. I think we all need to see that. Just small achievements are getting lost amongst all of this. You know?
I want to read that whole letter because they're like, dear so-and-so. And mom's like, yeah. She didn't even get to the good part yet.
Amazing. It's incredible.
That's an amazing video.
What did you do when you got into Brown? Did you do a happy dance?
I knew so little. This is almost pre-internet, Tori, that I really didn't even know where Brown was. That's real. I knew it was in New England, and I didn't know how prestigious it was until me as a biology major, as soon as I went to my first chemistry class, I was using the same textbook I was using in my old school, and I looked and my professor was the same guy that wrote the textbook. So I was like, oh, this is a different kind of school.
That's you went from being kind of green to brown, and I'm proud of you there. Al, we'll see you later in the show. Coming up on DBL, our green meaning like a newbie. Our medical expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, is back talking about the rising number of COVID cases and the possible spike in September. Let's get an expert on here. Plus, meet a photographer and father with a heart of gold. Wait till you hear how he stepped up for the class of 2020 when the coronavirus hit. Welcome back to DBL. We're continuing to talk about the 2 million cases of coronavirus now reported in the U.S. Jeff and I are smart, but let's actually talk to a doctor, shall we? Dr. Payal Kohli joins us live. Hello in dark royal blue. We're glad you're here because we are hearing some frankly troubling headlines. So to recap, we're at 2 million cases nationwide. New York, New Jersey, California, and Massachusetts are among the states hit hardest. Not only that, health experts are also predicting a dip in cases before a large spike around September. And they are saying the spike could be the death toll exceeding 200,000. Before we get to the viewer questions, and I want to talk about this, Jeff asked a great point. Do masks work? Do we know that, yay or nay?
That's not what I asked, to be specific.
Yes. Say what you're saying.
Yeah, Dr. Cole, I don't know if you were just watching the segment before, were you?
I was, Jeff, but please clarify the question because I think you're bringing up a really important point about the protests.
Well, I just said, Dr. Cole, we're not going to get a specific number because of the protests opening at the same time as the restaurants. We're not going to know if it's safe to be at restaurants because obviously we're getting that number affected by the people gathering at these protests. That's what I meant.
Yeah, so let me clarify a few things. First of all, Jeff, you're absolutely right. Many things are happening at the same time, so it's going to be really hard to separate out the effects of each individual thing. But one thing we can look at, and you made the point that as we're testing more, is that the reason the numbers are going up? That's what President Trump has been saying. And although that's a part of the reason, that's not the entire reason, because one of the metrics that we're looking at also is the number of hospitalizations. And it doesn't matter whether you got tested or not. If you're going to be sick enough to go into the hospital, that tells us about the disease rather than how much we're finding it. And we're seeing that that number is also going up. So hospitalizations is a better reflection of disease activity than necessarily the number of positive tests. But we really have to look at everything together. And Tori, to answer your question, masks actually reduce the transmission of the virus by up to 85%. And that was recently published in the Lancet. So we do have good scientific data about this.
That's so helpful to know, and thanks for getting to that. Let's get to viewer questions. Tony asks, does the spike in September mean I should continue sheltering at home until the fall? Family and friends are kind of starting to invite me to things, and I don't know what to say.
Yeah, this is happening to me too, actually. So let's talk about it. So as a society, I think we actually have to figure out how to live alongside the virus because, you guys, it's not going away till next spring or next summer until we have a vaccine. So on one end of the spectrum is to just say, you know, forget it, I'm getting out there and doing my thing. That's what we did in February and March, and that led us to the shutdown. So that's not what we want to do again. On the other end of the spectrum is to shelter in place indefinitely, and that's not possible either. So what I would say is to try to find ways to safely expand your quarantine bubble. You know, we were talking about whether we can start to see our friends. Maybe you and a friend get tested together. That's called a COVID buddy. And then you can hang out safely without the masks or without worrying about social distancing. Or you have an outdoor party and you maintain social distancing and wear those masks and try not to share food. So there are creative ways for us to get back to our lives and live alongside this virus.
Smart, smart, smart. Would you be my COVID buddy?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
It's a deal. Thank you.
I would love, oh, I thought you were asking me. Oh, my goodness. What about me?
I was.
I'll have to call Al.
She has to call Al. Doc, thank you so much. I hope you'll be back tomorrow. Apologies again. If you have a question about coronavirus you want answered by Dr. Kohli, just write us on social media or email info@dailyblastlive.com. There's no panic, just prevention and precautions and COVID buddies with the doctor. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. We all know the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So when a COVID-19 hit, a photographer in Virginia took on the task of photographing the entire senior class at his daughter's high school for free. Earlier, Sam spoke with Matt Mendulison about his amazing documentary photo essay. It's really incredible. That's today's DBL Spotlight. Matt, welcome to DBL. You've taken on the task of photographing the entire senior class at Yorktown High School. That's 500 students, by the way, free of charge. What inspired you?
Back in April, we had been quarantined for 30 days at that point, and my daughter asked me to take a picture of her. She's actually a junior in her spring fling dress, you know, a dance that obviously was not going to happen. So we went into the middle of the street, we took some pictures. She was sad, I was sad, and I thought maybe we could rescue it a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. These seniors have definitely, during the pandemic, they've missed out on things that you and I looked forward to our entire lives and then got to finally graduate, right? But you are helping out. And what I love too is that these aren't your basic senior portraits. There's something more personal for each student.
Correct.
So please tell us all about that.
Well, the idea was not to do standard high school senior in the tulip pictures. These are meant to reflect the sense of loss. What is missing? What has been taken away? The final baseball season, the chemistry awards, and the things that don't usually get reflected in a standard cap and gown yearbook picture. Each photograph is an individual portrait that goes to the heart of what each senior is about.
Wow, and what they're going through. That's real stuff, Matt. That's sincere. What have been some of the most memorable shots, in your opinion?
Well, I think the one that stands out in my mind will always be the swimmer in the hot tub. I mean, the pictures are supposed to reflect a sense of what is unattainable right now. So to have a swimmer in her Yorktown High School bathing suit with her kickboard sitting in a 3-foot by 3-foot hot tub because there are no pools that are open sort of got to that quickly visually. There was another senior, and she likes to create theater props. She likes to make Game of Thrones battle axes. So she's in the dress she would have worn to the prom, carrying these battle axes. It's such a shock, and I love it. I just think it sort of goes right to the heart of what we were trying to do.
You're absolutely right. It's poetic, it's creative, but it's heartbreaking, but it's inspiring. So many emotions. What have some of the students said to you?
The senior and the parents usually kind of put their hand right over their heart and mouth the words, "Thank you for doing this." I think it means a lot to them. They were just sort of in this cloud of anonymity for the last few months, and I think they felt that people had forgotten their loss, which is a different kind of loss.
Well, you've recognized them, and you've shined that spotlight and let them be seen. So thank you for being an inspiration and being a light in these dark times. Matt, we really appreciate you sharing these portraits with DBL Nation. We'll be right back.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DBL, Jeff. You know what you like?
Sweet, sweet deals.
It's sweet, sweet deals earlier, Steph.
I jumped the gun.
You did. Showed us some. You scared me. Some great products at even better prices in DBL Deal Blast, sponsored by Morning Save. The deals are so good they'll scare you. Take a look. All right, Steph, hit us. What do you have for us today?
It's the Air 2 True Wireless Earbuds. Ooh. Look at these. With wireless charging pad and case. They literally give you the most perfect sound. Ooh. They fit really snugly in your ears and they look super awesome. And this carry case, well, it also charges them, which is really cool.
Bravo.
So these are normally $150, Tori, and right now they're only $29. Now, we all want to have flawless, youthful looking skin,
yes.
and I found the ultimate product for it. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, let me see.
This is the Selected Cosmetics Instant Facelift with a powerful combination of minerals and antioxidants that help firm and tighten your skin. Honestly, amazing.
Wow.
And it makes my hand feel so soft even when I'm just rubbing it in. I mean, it's gorgeous.
That's lovely.
It's lovely. Okay, normally, this is $300, right? $300. Now, Tori, it's $29. This
Whoa.
is the True and Tidy multi-surface steam mop that helps me keep everything in check. So it's got steam technology, which means you can clean without the use of any scary chemicals.
Oh, fabulous.
And this head design, look at how much it moves. So it can reach all the areas that you might find difficult normally. So normally this is $100. Right now it's only $39. Last but not least, the Poseidon Portable Water Flosser. This dental water jet can basically get into all the nooks and crannies that brushing, well, it can't. And it's cordless, which is really handy.
Nice.
Comes in black or white. Now, normally, this is $50, and right now it's only $24.
All right, guys, head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com on your smartphone. Thank you so much, Steph. All right, favorite product, Jeff?
I have those earbuds. The floor thing looked amazing, and I do want to get like a
the flosser
oral
thing?
aerator.
The oral irrigator or whatever.
Irrigator.
It's true, because I hate flossing, but having something with just water pick seems very cool. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be buying that. Al, did you pick any of those sweet, sweet deals?
Oh, you know I'm a toothbrush guy through and through, so I'm getting the oral irrigator for $500, Alex.
You are correct. DBL is new every day. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Be good to each other. We're all fighting an uphill battle. Bye, guys.